Good morning. This last week, somebody said something that I had never thought about, and it just kind of blew my mind. They said, it is impossible for us to bite down. Now think about that. We use that phrase all the time, bite down. The dentist, and they put something in your mouth, I'll tell you, bite down on this. And yet we can't bite down. The way that our jaws work, the hinge is over here, and only our bottom teeth can come up. Our top teeth stay straight. And even if we try, we can't do it because the bottom has to come up. We can only bite up. And yet nobody says bite up on this. We always say bite down on that. There's a sense in which our faith also should be mind-blowing because it's the opposite of what we assume is really going on. We see this time and time again. The passage that we have for this day comes from the 119th Psalm. And one of the things that's interesting about the 119th Psalm that we don't notice when we first look at it is that it's actually an ABC book, except it's an ABC book in Hebrew. It's the longest of the Psalms at 176 verses. And I think it's 3 different times through there. It goes through all of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, each section starting with one of those letters, just like an ABC book might do for us. And so we look at that, and we don't see that in English, and we don't notice it, but there's this kind of hidden meaning in there. It was used to teach children their alphabet. But there is this other wonderful upside down, backwards way of thinking kind of thing at the very end, the very last verse. And I want us to consider the very last verse this day. The 176th verse of the 119th Psalm says, I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek out your servant, for I do not forget your commands. There's a confession there. I've gone astray like a lost sheep, and all of us can make confessions, of course, but rather than saying, I am returning to you, I'm coming back to you because I've gone the wrong way, we say, I'm a lost sheep, and so I need you to come and find me. That's not the way that most gods work with their subjects. You come to them. They don't come to you. And if you get lost, that's on you, and they're not going to bother to come and find you. Much the way we talked on Friday when we looked at Jesus and the parable of the lost sheep. The shepherd had no business leaving 99 sheep and going after one, and yet the shepherd does do that, and God does that for us, and God does that for everyone. The people that we see who annoy us, the people that appear to us to be irredeemable, are people that God is seeking out. Even before they ask, God is seeking them out. The great Southern author Flannery O'Connor used to describe Jesus as the hound of heaven chasing her. And the image she had in her mind was her running down probably a dirt road in the south and somebody's dog chasing her. And knowing that sooner or later that dog was going to catch her. She just wasn't fast enough. That's how she saw Jesus. And not that Jesus was going to run us down to harm us, but that Jesus is always relentlessly pursuing us, asking us to come, to accept what He wants to offer, the wonderful gifts of friendship and fellowship and joy and forgiveness and salvation and grace. And so on this day, let us recognize that we can't bite down, we can only bite up. And that we really can't find our ways to God. We can't find God, but God is out there searching for us like lost sheep. And so let us do all we can to make it easy for God to find us. And when God finds us, let us respond in the ways that God wants us to respond so that we will experience the peace and security that only a sheep can have, safe in the arms of the shepherd. We know that God is looking for us. We know that God is our good shepherd. We know that God is with us. Amen.